Welcome in, everybody. We got another best of 7 here in the playoffs between two players who very much want to be Gold League. We've got Ozone. Ozone has played close to, I think he's played more 1v1 games than anyone in all of the leagues. Ozone has played a lot of AoE2, came in from AoE2 from other games with the Definitive Edition, and would really like to make that next jump to be Gold. Usually very well prepared, very much a meta player on the standard land maps. I'm curious to see how Ozone ends up performing here, especially considering his opponent and considering that he knows his opponent very well. Blue, a newer player from Taiwan. This player is also a bit younger as well, and you'll probably see more and more of him because he's massively improved, but he is one of the practice partners of Ozone. So both these players know each other, and both players understand the Rhinos. And Ozone, game number 1, he was bringing in the Rhino, and no, he was getting the quick walls down, and he actually had it, but the game said nope. And the diagonal hit happened, and Villager goes down, and Ozone, yeah, he took the risk. Blue brought his Villager out right away to bring in that Rhino. Ozone tried to do the same, and now Ozone, oh boy. Now, oh boy, he's still not getting Loom, and Blue is still here, and oh god. Oh god. I mean, the Scout could still attack and kill that Villain in theory, but then you lose the Scout HP. So far, Blue is happy with this. Blue is just happy to just camp this. Notice Ozone has not resigned like we've had other players do. He is still playing. It's still living in my head that someone said it was a stamina decision for him to resign. Which I really should just get over it. But yeah, Ozone is going to bring in the Rhino anyways. It's annoying, though, because the gate will open, and he will be able to sort it out. But yeah, just risky there. I mean, high risk, high reward. But in this case, they both took the risk, and Blue benefited. Blue didn't have to snag Loom. Blue brought in the Rhino. And Blue didn't lose the Villager. But yes, I think Ozone correctly predicted what his opponent was going to go for here. I've only seen the Civ matchup one other time, and it was in Platinum League. And what we saw from the Spanish player in Platinum League was insane. It was so good. That was Vinchester, right? Vinchester went for Missionaries and boom. And he collected the relics, and then his plan was to play in towards Skirms. Ornlu's in my chat, says, whoops, didn't check Discord earlier. Ornlu, are we casting this together? It's fine if you're not casting. I didn't get a response from you, so... But, I mean, if you want to cast, we still can. I did message Ornlu earlier, and I didn't get a response. During the break, I wasn't snacking. I was actually just crying and wiping the tears off my face from the rejection. Ornlu says I can jump on if you want. I mean, it's all good, dude. If you weren't already planning on it, don't worry about it. You can chill. It's all good. I don't think you're casting, right? So, it's all good. No worries. We can get you in. We got a lot more TTL coming up. It's all right. Chat thinks it's funny that you ignored me, so chat will appreciate you even more for that. But yeah, I guess now you're just wondering, are they going to come out and get even more elephants? And both scouts are still lurking around. And Ozone, another reason to pick the Berbers would be for the faster villager speed. And if you want to go out there and bring in the extra hunt, you have the slightly faster vills to do so. And here comes Ozone. But yeah, I like the Berbers. If it ends up being unique unit for both, I think Camel Archer is very good against Conquistadors. But imagine this. So let's say these guys have played this 4 or 5 times in practice sessions, okay? And in the first practice session, it was Camel Archers versus Conquistadors. But then in the second time they played it, it ended up being Skirmishers versus Camel Archers. And then the third time they played it, it ended up being like full boom against Skirmishers. You know, you go down this list. So as a player, if you know your opponent, and here goes Ozone with the quick walls, and he's really trying to take the risk here for the elephants. If you know your opponent, all that stuff is living in your head, and oh god. The Scout is actually weaker for Blue, but Blue is still aiming to get the blocks, and you can't wall on this river, and Ozone is blocking, and Ozone does not have Loom, and Ozone still done a very nice job there. Actually, could end up killing the scout, and the villager could still make it home. He needs to make it home, though. Losing this villager would be painful. Little house trick from Ozone. And now the elephant's going back. And now he keeps the gate open, and now he's on the move, and now he palisades it in. Damn, that's impressive. But yeah, I'm just curious what the mind games look like here. Scout for Ozone follows, and Scout for Ozone now stands in the gate. He says, what are you going to do about it, bro? That's so well played. What a nice recovery from Ozone. Yeah, and now Blue has to bring a villager to attack this, and Ozone should just run away, and he runs away. Yeah. That's so much micro. My God. That is insane. But yeah, I think what Blue is doing is precisely what Vinchester did in the Yo Vinchester series, because they will take in a lot of games. To me, this feels like he will build a second town center in the back. He will expect camel archers, and he will plan to play like missionaries or monks to get relics in the corners, and then eventually play in towards better economy and skirmishers. So actually, this is a game state where if you knew your opponent was doing this, you would want to build the castle on his walls, but you never want to build your castle on the Spanish player's walls if they build faster and are going for their own castle, right? Here comes Ozone again. Still no loom. So we could see why he took the risk for the first one, because he's done so well since. But that faster moving villager bonus for the Berbers is huge here. Yeah, that'll be 800 more food brought in. And yeah, that should be no problem. Like, Blue's scout is weak. Blue, especially if he's adding missionaries, should never go over there, because you'll lose your scout. And yeah, for the average viewer, you should never try this. This is a classic. Do not try this at home. And oh no, the villager's too fast. All right, you can still salvage this. You have to block the elephants, but now, oh god. He had to build his blacksmith in his market. That quick wall is just so dirty, though. That was so good. And all right, well, he's gonna be fine. You just get one. You just get one. Do you think that it can have a negative effect on your economy, that the elephant you're eating is traumatized? Like, is eating traumatized elephant worse than eating regular elephant? Probably not. Oh god, what the? Oh god. Oh shoot. Oh no. Oh boy. Okay, Blue's trying it. Blue's turn. Blue does not have loom either. This should be a Deadville every single time. This should be a Deadville every single time. Kill the scout though, Ozone. Oh, that's so good. That is such a good recovery from Ozone. I can't believe Blue tried that. Ozone kills the villager, kills the scout. The elephants are going home now. And Ozone is looking around. He's definitely looking for the castle. He's bringing another villager. He's like, those are my elephants. I'm not a fan of that one. I think Ozone doing it makes sense because he has the stronger scout. But the scout is so valuable. Well played to Ozone. He continues to look around now for information. He doesn't see a castle going up anywhere. I honestly think the best approach from Ozone should be to add town centers first. Still no loom, though. Like, type of 1 if you get loom here. I'm with you. But I can't quick wall like that. I'm slow. I got caster speed. I got caster fingers. Like, it is insane. Like, that palisade, I wish I could freaking do that. Now, what I would do is I would make scouts and I would come over here and I'd try and disrupt all the nerds, but I would never, ever be doing this without loom. It is wild, though, how fast the villager is. Dude is zooming. He is zooming, and honestly, no loom, no loom, and still potentially a problem. Castle's going up. Blue is doing the same thing Vinchester did. Villager gets saved. Elephants are being brought underneath the TC. You can shoot the elephants with the TC now and still eat it. And there's the castle. So camel archers will be on the way. 2 town centers for Blue. We now have missionaries out and about. And the missionaries are going for the relics, guys. And this is a new change. The devs recently made it so missionaries can pick up relics. We've got a missionary in the south looking for a relic. There he goes. We've got a missionary in the north. And he's about to yoink this relic. They are so fast. And I'm wondering if Ozone is aware of this strategy or if he was fully expecting conquistadors. Look at the relic sway side to side as he moves on in. I don't think that's a noise that missionaries make, but whatever. I mean, that'll be too fast delivered. This is fast food right now. Look how fast this relic is being brought in. That's an insane difference. And for Ozone, it just dawned on him. He's looking for the relics, but the scout will get there too late. And so the economy for blue should be very strong here. 3 town centers. For Ozone, he went for the castle, and he's going for the camel archers. But there are no conquistadors. And missionaries can also convert camel archers too. Here goes another one. Oh, man. Someone's being critical of the donkey legs. Wait, we have to look at the donkey legs now? Hold up. Sorry if you hear a lawnmower. My neighbor is mowing his lawn, and it is very loud and very annoying. But I guess it is the weekend, and Ozone's camel archers are going to be completely shut down. This completely shuts it down. And he's bringing in another elephant? With no loom? Dude. That one conversion was nice. This missionary could still end up going down. Missionary does die. I don't know if this is the time for elephants, but Ozone disagrees. Ozone still house walls it. Big swing and Mick with the gifted subs on Twitch. Thank you very much. Very well timed. We have a lot happening right now. We see the additional monastery from blue for potentially more missionaries. The blue already has 3 relics on the map. The other relic is over here, so that could be 4 relics. But we have Ozone moving out to the stone and gold with the town center. But economically, I think blue has played it perfectly. And what Vinchester did was this, guys. It honestly was the most impressive build of the season that ended up with a loss. You get the relics with the missionaries. You play elite skirm. And then you build a castle in this area to take the stone and gold. What happened there, though, was he ended up building a defensive castle because he got pressured by Mr. Yo, and I think he deviated from the game plan a little bit. Interesting, though, we actually have a stable for blue. So blue's thinking about maybe getting bloodlines for these missionaries, which would benefit from that. Now, Ozone still doesn't have Bodcanero for the camel archers, and he needs to keep them massed. Ozone does have his units over here. I don't know where the relic went, though. I think the relic's already back. It's so fast. The relic is already back. I think it's from this corner. My God. Yeah, the missionaries are really, really good. The history of the missionary, at least as far as, like, age balance goes, is they gave them a bunch of buffs before that, like, let them benefit from cav upgrades, etc., etc., and then no one would really make them. And then recently they made it so you can now pick up the relics. And that change, combined with everything else, has had them really look strong. Now the castle here from blue isn't the forward castle we were talking about, but it is still kind of risky to move out, and Ozone is really going to be lurking around looking for this. So this will give him some stone and gold. But we actually see the armor upgrade now for the missionaries. Still no bloodlines upgrade. But you essentially benefit from the cav upgrades, and you benefit from the monk upgrades. So you can get fervor, sanctity, husbandry, bloodlines, cav armor. You can't get attack, but you could now make conquistadors, combine them with the missionaries. Because these things are insanely fast right now. And over here, there was another conversion. 2 more conversions on the camel archers. Random farm gets placed, but that's a misclick, and the camel archers still want the kills. Thing about the camel archer, though, is that it is one of the best late game unique units, and it is... If you can just hold off against these missionaries right now, you're still going to be somewhat happy. But, dude, how are the donkeys faster than the camels? Look how little the legs are for the donkeys. This is, at the very least, not very realistic. This is unbelievable speed. 1.26 speed against 1.40, but it feels like that's not the case. It feels like the missionaries are faster. Is capture age wrong? Husbandry is about to come in, which does apply to the missionaries. More missionaries converting camel archers. And Ozone spending all of his time chasing down the missionaries back here. And he just lost 2 camel archers to this castle as well. And, oh, man, didn't know about that. Camel Archers have had a terrible time. Now they're running through the woods, and they can't find the missionary. He's in the corner, seeking God. He will be saved. I really like Blue's build. Having the 4 relics is good, but Ozone does have 2 relics, and Ozone does have more of the hill secured and can potentially get a castle up here. He's still not losing the balance towards Imp. I think balancing out the res for Imp and Trebuchets with a castle on the hill typically would be the play. And a lot of the food for Blue, like bloodlines, armor, that does buff the missionaries, but you're not actively engaging right now. That needs to be a delete. Wow, Ozone's very lucky that didn't end up being a conversion. That was an insta, though. Monk was already charged up, and that armor upgrade pays off because the unit is still alive, and Ozone will back up there. That's a safer castle. And if this castle goes up, there will be some big problems here for Blue. Ozone does have Loom, but there's Conquistadors, Camel Archers, and Missionaries here. So there's a weird mix of units he has to deal with. The villagers are getting focused down. He pulls the villagers over. He converts a conch. We have a castle from Blue, but can Blues be protected? Blue does build faster as the Spanish. 50% for Ozone. It's 50% for Blue. 70% for Ozone. It's 65% for Blue. I think Ozone's castle should go up here, and if it goes up and he's also on the way to Imp, he's still in a very good position. I think Blue, he got a little too excited with spending the food here. Right? Spent a lot of food, has a lot of wood floating. He needs to get Imperial Age now. He's actually going double Castle Petard, and he's going double Siege Workshop to ram push this back. And Blue's economy is still very strong, though, I have to say. 113 vills. Ozone's still only on 85. But well played from Ozone. I think upgrades for the Camel Archers need to be coming in here. Ballistics feels like a big one. Getting some armor upgrades wouldn't hurt either. Bloodlines, of course. This castle will probably go down for him. Blue's going for enough petards with rams. This castle will definitely fall. But it'll still be an Imp, and he still does have the resources to maybe go for another one. Wouldn't mind Ozone getting Devotion with the amount of missionaries that are out here. And Blue is also on the way to Imp. These missionaries just seem so annoying to deal with right now. Yeah, Castle's also on crack terrain, so it'll go down much faster. Anything in this area of the map is on crack terrain once you hit the elevation. But, like, one's in chat if you're kind of annoyed on Ozone's behalf about these missionaries. It seems super annoying. Every time he goes somewhere, there's a freaking missionary, man. Inquisition needs to be researched. This tech as well. Like, players have complained about this. You know, it's been sneaky good for a very long time. Monks and missionaries convert faster, and it gives missionaries more range. A very good tech. It is incredibly cheap. All these things could probably be more expensive if players were to use it more. Castle goes down. It melts like it's butter. Ozone hits Imp. And Ozone's building another castle at the top of the hill. But look at the missionaries around, man. That's a lot of missionaries. Rams are following as well. Imp is still coming in for Blue. Blue's got a 40 villager lead. Ozone needs to fight this to complete the castle. But then he needs to defend the castle. 1, 2, 3 conversions. Rams are here. I mean, you build the castle and then you immediately use your villagers against the rams and repair with a few as well. That's what you have to do. Focus down the missionaries as well. I think this castle should stay up, but that is cracked terrain. That's a lot of rams. Without the cracked terrain, I think that the castle always stays up. Ozone doesn't have a lot of stone. And Blue's got a lot of time. Ozone is making a treb. He does see the castle from Blue. Blue's an Imp now. The units have been good, but I just can't help but feel like that maybe Blue is overcommitting to making the missionaries. Like, I'd like to see some skirmishers here, you know? He builds a castle. He's researching supremacy now, too. His missionaries are getting sniped. Oh, God, but he got 3 very quick conversions. There are 4 conversions. Maybe it was 3. Ozone doesn't have any villagers mining stone right now. He doesn't have a TC on a wood line. There's a lot of things that you want here that he does not have. Will Blue Vil Rush right now? Honestly, it makes a lot of sense. There's only 3 archers. 3 camel archers. It's going to be full trebs. If Blue brings 30 Vils with Supremacy with the missionaries, I don't see Ozone keeping his castle up. And look, Blue continues to commit to more and more armor upgrades, which would apply to the missionaries, and that's all he's producing. It's Vils, not even trebuchets, and then just missionaries. Obviously, we'll have more range now. And here he goes! Here he goes! Converted camel archers will rush. Here come the villagers. Ozone is like, huh? And here comes the party. He will sit underneath the castle. He's attacking the trebs. He'll lose his castle, but whatever. Those vills are going to come to the party as well. And Supremacy villagers are so tanky. Guys, any army that Ozone's going to hop out with just gets converted by the missionaries. This is insane. Panic murder holes from Ozone. So he will get murder holes. I guess you have to try and focus the missionaries, but good luck. Your castle's going to go down. There's still a lot of missionaries here. It's pure villagers from Blue, and Blue's going to take the castle down. What in the world? Blue looked at the tech tree and said, yep, I'll use those bonuses. I'll make missionaries, and I'll make vills. Unfortunately, didn't get Inquisition, but nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Honestly, nobody expects the Spanish Supremacy Vil Rush. That's kind of the more accurate statement. Yeah, TC's just dead. And the missionaries just convert all the army. This is a masterpiece. This is insane. Ozone drops another castle. Well, I mean, he has to. Like, he has to. He's making light cav to snipe the monks. It's unbelievable. There's missionaries everywhere getting conversions. The villagers have such boosted stats with Supremacy. I didn't see if he got Sappers. Sappers is a must-have here. With murder holes being in, there is a risk that maybe this becomes a bit much. Okay. I think maybe you need to make some army now, Blue. Okay, he has Sappers. Whatever. You know, it's true realistic warfare. We could let some people die. It's fine. It's fine. They didn't care about these villagers anyways. They've done a good job. These villagers will die. And now behind this, he can go for stables, and he can get blacksmith upgrades, and he can spam light cap. And Ozone has spent so much damn time trying to deal with this and keep his town centers and castles up that he's going to lose the hill anyways. Yeah. It's over. Ozone's dead. He's dead. He has no eco. He has no gold. Like, he needed camel archers and trebs and castle drops to win. And behind this, Blue has 50 on food. He's got golden stone and is going to take the hill, which is the initial goal anyways. Just crazy. He did a really good job with these missionaries. I do think that the change for them to pick up relics was like a big reason of why he started making them. But beyond that, I mean, these missionaries have been an option for a very long time. It's not like that part is new. The villager rush has also been an option for a very long time. It's just a very unique thing. And he takes down the Treb with the villagers. Here he's got missionaries, maybe going a little bit too far, but even there, maybe snags a couple conversions. And he has the hill now, guys. Ozone is just unsure of what to make. He'll make light calf, but his opponent's already on Hussar with better upgrades. Masterpiece from Blue. Also has a trebuchet here, making a move for the castle. He's building a defensive castle in the back, which I don't really get, but I think maybe that's just in case he were to get raided. He probably feels like, I can't lose this game now. What can Ozone do? And the answer would be Ozone would raid. Ozone does have 50 on food. He could make camel archers again, and he did still have elite camel archer tech. So maybe making more camel archers is good, but it'll be elite conquistador behind this for Blue. I mean, he's got so many castles over here. I feel like he's done all the hard work in this game, and now he just needs to explode with population. and technologies. Damn. I'm impressed. Ones in chat, if you're a little mind blown that this has worked. Because, like, I thought the way this was going to go was that he was going to overcommit to the missionaries, and then he was going to be late to imp, and then he would have problems. But he took down the castle with petards and rams, and then he made it to imp at the perfect time, and he just committed hard. He just sent it fully, and he's going to send it fully again. Here he goes. So here come 26 more vills after the castle that will do damage. Probably needs to make some trebs at some point. The Hussars have Ozone distracted here. This castle protects the trebuchets that Blue is pushing with. And if you have 140 vills and you lose 30, you just get more military, I guess. I think there's arguments that maybe you should be more patient than this. But this is one of the biggest sets in Blue's career, and why not? What better way to make a statement in the first game than to win it like this? The missionaries still waiting for camel archers, still converting camel archers. Elite conquistadors protecting the trebs. Vills are there to repair the trebs, which is perfect. A lot's dying underneath this castle. Ozone's castle has 80 kills. But Ozone still can't push any of this back. He still can't get up the hill. He still can't deal with this. Gates from Blue now to block it all off. And Ozone continues to fight and hold, but he's just so far behind. I think losing the castles is the killer blow here, if you're Berbers. You wanted a big mass of camel archers with a mix of whatever other unit made sense. Maybe camel, maybe hussar. And essentially, he just can't keep the mass of camel archers alive. And he can't keep his castles up to keep the production going. Which he knows. Which I think is why he's not producing as many camel archers. But I really like to see Ozone queuing more camel archers. You need to have consistent queue. At least get to like 25 or 30. I think maybe Blue didn't need to toss away 100 villagers underneath castles. I think we can all agree on that. But it worked pretty well to get the position on the map. He's actually getting Inquisition now, so the conversions will come in much faster from the missionaries. And one castle down for Ozone. The trebs can reposition this direction to push this castle. I think once the castle's down, Ozone has to tap out here, guys. What a crazy first game. You can tell, though, and it's still crazy to me that you can tell, but you could tell this is silver playoff instead of gold, right? Just some tiny things. It gets a little bit messier in silver than it did in the gold playoffs yesterday. Than it will in the platinum playoffs when we eventually see it. But the chaos is there. The skill is there. The strategy's there. Ozone sneaking over. He'll snag some gold there. Both players built a lot of outposts on the right side. But, like, the skill is undeniable. I think just the strategy here from Blue is so cool. To not go conquistadors with Spanish is kind of unheard of on a closed map. But the missionary play was awesome. Now Blue's got 7 trebs. Ozone has 1 more castle. It's the first game of the series, so... And Ozone does have some camel archers, so I think he's going to play it out, and... I mean, there go more villagers down for Blue. But Ozone can't do anything to get to the trebs, and he's about to lose his castle. Elite Conquistador is a pretty damn good unit. Golden Stone is pretty important. If this ever gets spotted on the left side, I think Blue's headed over there now. Ozone will lose control of all of that. The missionaries continue to get the conversions. I think Ozone should delete his walls here, I guess, to attack the trebs. But I don't know. I think he's looking over on the left side, is seeing his villagers getting raided. Also, you delete a hole in your wall, then your opponent can just enter your base later on, so that feels kind of rough. He's getting thumb ring now. He actually queued up some cav archers a second ago, which I guess kind of makes sense. If you don't have camel archers, maybe you can play cav archers, but I just don't think that's going to be enough here. I think Ozone actually played incredible, but he just played incredible from a losing position. He had worse economy the entirety of the game. And the camel archers were supposed to be the difference, and the early camel archers kept getting converted. It's when you're 20k res collected behind in a game, it's the fights have to be perfect. And the fights were good, but they were not perfect. And what Blue is able to do here gave him the full map control, and Blue will take game number 1. Ozone probably a little stunned here. And as I always say, you want to play on in the first game for a little bit longer, get the nerves out of your system, try and settle down a little bit, and then you call the GG. Damn, what a game. How many conversions did Blue have this game? I don't think the number's going to tell the full story, but he still had 35 conversions. So 35 conversions against mainly Camel Archers, which is a really costly unit. The bigger thing to me is that he ended up getting those relics. He brought in 4k gold from relics when he was boxed out from the gold for a while. And I think, like we said, when Ozone went fast imp, he was kind of low eco, and then he lost his castle position, and then he lost his next castle position, then he lost his next castle position. I mean, he just couldn't keep his castles up. The Supremacy follow-up from Blue is a masterpiece. So, well played. There's some mind games at play here. The big thing early game is, if Ozone knows what we know, he always places a castle on the walls to pressure. But people don't do that against the Spanish because they think the Spanish are going to go for the castle. And Spanish with the faster castle and also building castles faster would benefit and just deny your castle. So it's simply way too risky to do that. And then Blue snatched the relics, had good economy, and the rest is history. Well played. So I feel like for Ozone, the strategy in the first game, it was solid. But there's a bit of guessing games at play, and Blue just overall was able to find a very unique strategy. Maybe only seen once or twice, if that, this season. Now, game 2, Blue is playing as the Muisca, so we have a new civilization that fell through in the draft. Some players have been banning all the new civs. Didn't happen in this draft, and so here's the bonuses for Muisca. The big thing that people have been talking about is the Champies. The Champies are really speedy for Dark Age and can be really problematic, but I don't think the Muisca have any really great early bonuses to make the non-stop Champy spam the strongest with this civ. And maybe it's still an option. Now for Ozone, he's gone for Bulgarians, and this map has been dominated by Man-at-Arms. This civilization gets the militia line upgrades for free, so it's perfect. And so I think Man-at-Arms and lots of army in the Feudal Age is Ozone's plan. So maybe Blue wants to hit him in the Dark Age here with the Champy Rush. But yeah, if you guys want to know what I look like as a Champy warrior, you can use the Champy emote. We've been some primes, Death Dealer. You've got the Champy emote now. It's apparently what I look like. I don't know. I guess the emote is the upgraded version of the Champy. But Blue is looking around for some damage. Just feel like you have to respect that this could be some early Champy rush if you're Ozone and pre-wall your vills. But for now, he's pushing in the deer. You also have the fish on the outside. Typically, you push in all the hunt underneath the TC, and then the rest of your food income's all around the outside. And it is just going to be the settlement for Blue. Settlement, but he's bringing villagers forward. They're so close together here. He sees the wood line, so he's going to get Loom. And he's going to Champy and Vill fight off the lumber camp. Actually, you could build an outpost with the Champy. Oh my god. What a play. You can build an outpost with Champies, and he outposted to basically wall the villagers so the villager A couldn't wall and B couldn't run. Blue with the plays here. And Blue says, you know what? I'm just going to build a house there too, if you don't mind. And I'm probably going to go back home. That's a nice, really nice start. So far, Ozone is probably like, what is happening here? Again, Blue is one of the most prepared players in any of the leagues. Stone Please was another one. Stone Please was promoted up to Platinum League from Gold League yesterday. I'm hoping to have an interview with him tomorrow. But you would not believe the amount of time and effort that players have put into trying to move up the leagues here. And Blue is extremely motivated, and yeah, that's not a bad start. I still think that Ozone needs to have preemptive walls. Like, not for the Vill Rush, but I think you have to have preemptive walls against the potential of the early Champies, right? But maybe he saw the bonuses and he didn't think they would happen, which he would be correct with. Remember, settlement you can drop off all resources at. And it's only for the Muisca, Tupi, Mapuche, and Incas. And it also gives you population space. It is kind of awkward to fit settlements up here on the fish at times, but he was able to find a spot. That is just a random sheep from blue. That is also just a random sheep from blue. And Ozone going to preemptively wall around his mill and click up. Still think the plan should be man-at-arms, but I don't know. I'm not seeing the barracks timing fit. Get the food. This is him being worried about another rush right here. These walls at this time, is he knows there could be champies out. But blue will build the barracks. Definitely plan on it, I think, but just plan on it more so in the next stage. You see that the scout go into the TC and out the other side just so it could move an extra 4 tiles? It's really funny when you see players take those details. And there he goes. Takes the deer. T90, will you do a revamp of your emotes? You still have Hidden Cup emotes, 11. Well, I'm sorry. Will you do a revamp of your emotes after we've added like 5 emotes recently? Sounds a little bit, you know, accusatory here. I mean, yeah, we do still have the old Hidden Cup emotes, but we still like don't really have emotes to fill the slot. So I can remove those. It's basically we remove those and we don't replace it with anything unless we get ideas. Or they just stay there, you know? But you're right. We have too many emote slots. We are truly spoiled. But if you have thoughts or ideas, do mention it. We tried to vamp it up. We've got the promotion, relegation, we've got the catting emote, we got the ram emote, we got the unk emote, we got the filter emote. So we should have some emotes. Just wondering. Didn't know you added new ones. Ah, it's all good. It's all good. I don't think you implied anything too negative with your tone. I think I got a little too personal there. A little too sensitive. Yo, supplies! Speaking of emotes, don't we still have the supplies emote? Even though supplies doesn't exist in the game anymore? Thank you, supplies, for the 10 gifted. Nice to see you. Alright, so Ozone is going for man-at-arms. He's walled up the fish on the outside. And he does have the faster researching and cheaper blacksmith upgrades. And blue is on the prowl with these champies. These champies will soon be champy runners. I think now that is what my emote's supposed to be. Maybe I'm a champy warrior. I don't know. But they're so fast, guys. They're so freaking fast. And that's the main issue with them. And blue just finds a gap. Ozone was already going to place the house there. He had the right idea. And the champies are through. So you've got 1.1 movement speed over here against the movement speed of 0.96. So that is like an extra 4th or 5th of movement speed. And so far, blue just running around with confidence and making Ozone's life so difficult here. The thing that he didn't do, though, is he didn't actually wall this. He did just build a tower on the outside. The men-at-arms are here. Ozone's distracted the tower fire. Ozone is defended for the most part with his man-at-arms. He now has armor coming in. But blue is fighting back the man-at-arm. Ozone's busy. And, oh, man, Ozone. Oh, man. He didn't react nearly in time. And I think blue... Yeah, blue's just locked in. Blue's just locked in. Look, he saves the weak villagers at the perfect time. He's bringing all of his army back home. And he should be able to clear this. And there's no running away if you're Ozone either. Like, your units are slower. So congrats on the additional upgrades, but you only have 3 units here, 2 of which are weak. And I think blue could just take this fight. Here's the other thing. Muisca get the additional melee armor in each age on their champies. So that is a bonus that's really relevant here. So they have 2 melee armor. I think it would normally only be 1. And so the 2 melee armor, 5 base attack, 40 HP, plus the movement speed is very strong. Sorry, my game lagged there for a second. And Ozone has just had a nightmare start to the series. Game 1, he got masterpieced. Game 2, blue is 7-0 KD. Blue is playing insane. And again, like 2 years ago, you would have never heard of this guy. For longtime Age fans, it's kind of shocking, right? But we've actually got like genuine, new, young, up-and-coming players, super motivated. Particularly with TTL format, it's training so much for this because there's a decent amount of money for them, and They can compete round to round. Ozone is stuck on man-at-arms now. He will go double barracks. But from my perspective, if Blue is playing perfect, he should never take a bad fight because he has the additional movement speed. If his units are faster, he'll always control this game now. And so that's essentially what he's doing right now. Runs in with the champions, sees the villagers, hopes for the snipe, moves along. Behind this, getting forging. Behind this, getting the wood upgrade. Also getting the gold upgrade. Also making a couple archers, which Ozone hasn't done yet. And there you should have another villager go down. There should be another villager go down in a second as well, depending on how he plays it. Ugh. I honestly, I don't think there's any counterplay for Ozone. The only thing you can do is build the defensive tower so you have some protection and go counterattack and force him to fight you. But who even wins? Man-at-arms against champions. I guess... I don't know. The man-at-arms stats are still decent enough where I think in even numbers they would win, but... And you have to compare the cost, then you have to factor in the archers. And I think speed is key. Mobility is everything, right? 9-0 KD for Blue. It just... I think Ozone is sitting in this game right now like, oh my god, get me out almost. Like, yeah, he's doing... This is the only thing he can do. You have to actually take the fight to his economy and force some reactions from him. Counter towers, enough resistance with some man-at-arms, and then counter damage can maybe turn it around. Could maybe think about a switch to scouts at some point here too. Because at least scouts can compete with the champy speed. Villagers will pull away for Ozone. The man-at-arms are over here. Blue did spot that. Blue is also on the wood line, which Ozone is defending. There's a lot of military right now. Pretty cool, though, how Blue used that, built that outpost with the champy and the little village war shenanigans. It's really smart. It's not a big risk on this map either. Ozone gets the counter damage. So it wasn't looking good. He kills the villager. He will lose this tower. But he does still have fish over here. He does still have man-at-arms chasing this down. He does have another tower. I think that's been the big difference in the game is Ozone has gone to stone for a tower. And for Blue, he's just now built the settlement over there. So he can only build more towers in a few moments. Honestly, nice recovery from Ozone. But if you have the towers, just keep moving to Blue's base. If you can take the fight, take the fight. Both players hoping for a bit of stack there, but it's 18 champies. And the champies and the archers are going to get the job done and get the clear up here. Oof. There's just not enough in the way of numbers for Ozone. He does snipe the archers, though. Can someone remind me the cost of a champy, please? Versus a man-at-arm? Sorry, I don't have it memorized yet. I think it's a slightly different cost. It's very comparable. I still think it's movement speed that is really the main strength of the unit. And, like, production speed. Cost is probably fine. I think it's more so the value you can get from the units. Okay, so it's 45 food, 25 gold. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, that's decent resources to spam the champy. But there are so many of them, and Ozone just can't keep up with the production right now. And he's losing Vills, and he's losing his man-at-arms. And his eco is not exactly looking fresh here either. We had 6 bans added in for the playoffs. And beyond as well. So once we get Platinum round 4, Platinum round 5, there's 6 bans. There's 3 new civs. There's Incas, which is refreshed. If you didn't want to be championed, could have banned it or could have picked it. I think Ozone looked at the base stats of the Man-at-Arms and felt like Man-at-Arms should beat this. But this entire game has been Blue. It's just full control. Controlling the game with momentum. Behind it, we never have to look at how many of these settlements are out there collecting the food. And yeah, Ozone is just... I have been in this position Okay? I've been in Ozone's position. I haven't been championed in a tournament yet. But, it feels very sweepy right now. Would you guys agree? Not saying Ozone doesn't have potential. Not saying he's a good player. Not saying he's not well prepared. But game 1, masterpiece. Game 2, stomp. If Ozone doesn't turn it around quickly in game number 3, this could end up being a very quick best of 7. It feels like Blue is just having so much freaking fun right now, too. Like, he is just dominating at the moment. Feels like he can do no wrong. That's how it was in the previous game at the end. So much confidence with every decision. So many armies at play. We got armies over here. Armies over here. I think Ozone is reacting to this and this. But I don't think he noticed this. And when Castle Age is in, Ozone might be forced to tap out here. This is pretty brutal. The Champions will obviously be stronger. The Champions, I mean, you could research so many upgrades. And pretty soon the Champions could be going for town centers. And Man-at-Arms speed is just the difference. Blue 15 seconds away from Castle Age. This is where you've got to dig deep. Right? Like, as a high-level player, you're going to have rough starts to sets every now and then. You have to be able to dig deep and turn it around in a best of 7. We'll find out if Ozone can do that, or if Blue is just going to be the man today. Blue 2-0 up, and just so well prepped. I know that there's some conversations on YouTube and in Twitch chat about the champion. I get that. You know, you think champion's OP, you think, oh, the DLC's pay to win, you know, whatever, all that. But just forget about that for a second. Just think about every little advantage that Blue was able to find in this game. I mean, this little nifty adaptation to think, you know, we're not that far away from each other. Let's try and attack a villager and get an early lead. And to go forward, use the outpost building ability of the Champy as essentially a quick wall like that. To then move in and kill this Vill. Like, that tiny detail, that doesn't just come out of the blue, right? Like, well, come out of the blue. Yeah, it does come out of the blue, because his name is Blue. But, like, that just tells me that he is so in control right now. And then the way he used the Champions as well, running around the map and microing is just, it seems super well prepped. I even felt his defense was really well done with the Vill micro underneath the tower. Just made it look easy. So, Blue's legit. 2 wins away now. We'll see if Ozone can turn it around. I got a couple plus 7Ks from Twitch chat on that. All right, thank you. So, has to be a bounce back game from Ozone. And he's gone for the Celts. Oof. All right, so if you like infantry, we're probably going to see more of it here. We've got Celts with the wood chopping bonus and the faster moving infantry. And Ozone's like, it's my turn for the speedy infantry. Blue has the regenerating infantry. And both players are fighting over the same zebra right now. And both players are taking the scout fight. And Ozone, do not lose your scout here. Yeah, you'll see this. Players, they need all the food they can get. They typically save the little shorefish for later. And because there's a couple zebra through the middle, at the highest level, they will actually fight over 1 or 2 of them there before they move over to the ostrich. But yeah, African River, you've got water on the outside. All the rivers, all the rivers are connected. All the little pools in the river are connected. Typically, players will dock in 2 different positions, so it'd be either here or here for Blue. And then for Ozone, it would be, you know, the other 2 pools. But the scouts being weak could mean that playing early militia is not necessarily as viable. I know it probably sounds ridiculous for just a random person watching the channel right now who doesn't play the game as much, but the scout's a big reason why militia is viable, because you can block. Now that the militia are weak, it should mean certain strategy no. Certain strategies are not viable, and that is what Ozone needed. Blue tried to get the kill, and now Blue's scout is dead. That is so bad for Blue. He now can't push this, right? These are all easy pushes in towards the TC for super efficient food income. He can't do that. He can't scout Ozone's dock position. He can't scout Ozone's barracks position. He can't even scout the timing on it, right? Sometimes players will go for the barracks before they go for the dock. So that is not good for Blue. But what is the plan here for Blue? Is it just to shoot these? I guess if you know Ozone Scout is super weak, you can just walk over here with no consequences. And also, if the Scout's there, you can just attack it with the Villager, and you don't need Loom. So, all right. I mean, Villager comes over, shoots down the Ostrich, and Ozone Scout's sitting there like, oh, okay. And they had some lag there. Ozone's Villagers going to dock in the back. And Ozone bringing in his Rhino, which you only have one of. Is Blue going to dock forward right now? It doesn't look like it. Seems like Blue was thinking about it. And so clearly Blue thinks that if you're this close to somebody, there's no reason not to send a Villager forward and go for some early harass. Doing that on a map like Reverse Acropolis, where it takes so long for you to get back to your eco, would be bad, but I like it. Crazy to me that Ozone is scouting with the resources on the outside, with the Water Buffalo, but I guess there's logic to it if your opponent doesn't have a scout. Just has to be very careful with that scout. You at least want to confirm, is there a barracks, yes or no? Is there a dock? And then, of course, like, the location of it. I think the dock is always expected. Lazy Lawyer says, can you put Blue in another color? No, he's Blue forever. But the thing about Blue, and I feel kind of bad about it, but kind of like the Max back in the day, he always picks color 5, which, you know, I wouldn't consider Blue, but that's his thing. So if Blue ever makes a Hidden Cup or something like that, it's something to keep in mind. Wall's coming up for Blue, who's completely in the dark. I think the expectation is that there will be Celt Man-at-Arms, but it doesn't seem like that's the build for Ozone at all here. It could still happen. He's got 2 fishing ships in queue and still has enough wood to build a barracks. But Ozone just looking around for the dock. If you don't see the dock here, that should tell you where your opponent is docked. But again, all the games could come back into your head where you've trained with this player. Maybe there's a forward dock. You do really need to confirm these things. What would happen if Blue played a tourney that mandated player color by seed? Well, that would suck, but I'd have experience, because for years I covered Say My Name, who was yellow for years, and he would never play in the yellow color. So, back then I couldn't change player colors, right? But he's the ultimate troll, because he went from being yellow to Say My Name. So, you know, it was, especially if it was Say My Name versus Viper, I'd say, like, Viper's playing in the yellow, and then I would say yellow is doing this, and then people would be like, no, he's not. Viper's not making militia. Oh, my God, don't even get me started. So, casting Blue, at least I could change the color to Blue here. Yeah, so Ozone's going forward dock, but he's going forward dock without understanding where his opponent's fish are. Now, this could still be a good thing for him because he controls another pool. But it is full wall from Blue because Blue is fully expecting Ozone to go for some big army, and Ozone's not going for any army on land. And Ozone also walling up, expecting there could be some army. Hasn't seen what he needs to see yet. Might try and run through, but doubles back. Ozone's up. We'll open with 2 Hulks. And, ooh, awkward. Awkward. Blue's here, and Ozone's like, hello. But that's actually good for Blue in some ways, because now he knows what Ozone's opening is. That dock is relatively new, though, so it doesn't give you all the intel. But Ozone's scout is currently trapped. The Villager will build a tower behind the wood line. And now the Villager from Blue is going somewhere as well, because the scout is trapped. And Ozone will go for the barracks. Remember, you can garrison the docks now, so... We've seen a lot of defensive play promoted. Before, you would be punished if you didn't have any navy. Now you can garrison. All right, you ready for this, chat? I'm going to predict what happens once this tower completes. If I get it wrong, I'll give 10 subs in between games. He will see it. He will pull villagers and just build his own tower, garrison, and shoot that tower down. Ready? Here we go. He sees the tower from one vill. And he's thinking about it. Do not go to that wood line. This is a good tower long term. This protects your wood. This protects your gold. That's a 1 villager tower. You can shoot it down. Do not go over there. Do not go over there. Okay, he kills the scout. There's water to look at. Don't worry. Just wait. I'm right. Okay, just wait. Ozone doesn't see the forward dock. Ozone has 7 fishing ships, which is really good. And the hawks are coming in. And the fishing ships are just garrison now, so they're not working. Hitting someone's wood economy when they need to spend on double docks and the archery range is really nice. Oh, and Ozone found the dock. And he's even blocked the villager with the fishing ship. Okay, dock completes. Oh my god, Blue. Oh my god. Oh my. Why do I speak? Hold on. He can eventually do it, though. He can eventually do it. It's fine. It's fine. We just wait. It'll happen. You can still do it. I don't understand. I get so cocky, you know? I get so confident about things, and I want to show off, and then I pay the price. But man, Ozone's resources are looking amazing right now. He's gone full water. No infantry after all. He's actually gone for a stable and has added some scouts. Now, what he can't do is he can't build a defensive tower because he went for the offensive tower. And resources for Blue are looking pretty good considering how much he's losing out on water at the moment. And Ozone will end up building a tower. Not in love with that tower, but I think he needs one that protects some of the gold and also the stone. I just don't love it because it doesn't fully protect the golds. I think if the archers pull back, they still deny these resources. And, yeah, Blue. Painful position here. You have 757 food, and you need to be up to Castle Age, and you have basically only these 3 villagers on food, and you've just finished the fish as well. Oh. Okay, he got the food somewhere. And now he's up. Ozone's going to be up soon. And Ozone still has 9 fishing ships against 2, and the 2 fishing ships for Blue are not working. But yeah, I'm a little bit surprised. This is actually not a horrible play to just relocate your wood line. But typically, people will just build the tower there, shoot that tower down, and then it protects their stone and their gold long term. Blue is going to cost me some subs. It's fine. Ozone is on the way to Castle Age a bit later, but he does also have the scouts to see what could potentially be coming out. He'll have lots of food, but I don't know how he's going to spend the food here. He certainly has a lot of scouting on the map, but Celt Knights is not necessarily what you want against archers, and Blue does have a decent amount of archers massing up here. Yeah, I'm going to deduct it from Blue's prize pool earnings. True! That's what I should be doing. Oh, yes. Oh, I didn't think about that. He'll submit the invoice, and I'll say, sorry, but you made an incorrect play in game 3 of your tournament series, and you cost me money, so we are deducting that. That would be quite the scandal. I would obviously never do that. Blacksmith for Ozone. Yeah, I think if Ozone plays defensive towers in the right positions, he can also just defend with siege and a couple knights. Curious to see how much damage Blue does. Blue should recognize, like, this is bad. You have no fishing economy, but, oh, man, Ozone. You need a blacksmith. Blacksmith and stable's so valuable. The blacksmith goes down, and now suddenly Blue's like, so he can't even get blacksmith upgrades on his military? That's not bad. I don't know, man. I'm seeing some nerves from Ozone here. I've seen him play some sharper Age of Empires, and I really think the first 2 games just really could add up mentally for any player. And Blue is solid. Blue is going full CA. Blue will go full land focus now, and Blue knows he's behind, so he will... It's not like he will have any focus on anything else right now. Again, the towers don't fully protect the golds. The crossbows can still sit over here. And so that is not a bad area to sit. And the blacksmith's still not completed for Ozone. Now, he'll know he's had the perfect start, basically, and he's got amazing resources, but he doesn't know what to make with them. It is going to be knights. But just build another blacksmith. Yeah, just delete that blacksmith. That was always doomed to fail. I think blue needs monks now. If you know your opponent's going full knights, monks, when you don't have good economy, still pretty realistic with 14 on golds. Still think a second town center is out of the question here. It's full army. When your opponent has 10 fishing ships, it has to be military numbers to recover this. I don't hate cav archers. You have mobility, you have bloodlines. This map rarely goes very late, so I think it's just all about the here and now. And even in the later stages, honestly, it's pretty good. This Hulk, I don't know where this came from, because his docks are dead. But, okay, he snipes the fishing ship. It could be so much better for Ozone, but it still could be so much worse, right? 8 fishing ships are on the water. He unfortunately is just struggling with the details here. Like, even has the resources to maybe balance things out with the market a little bit. Buy some wood. Make a scorpion. He's going to get +2 armor. Blue's cooking. 14 cav archers on the way. And more towers placed from Ozone. And he just cannot hold. He can't take his resources. But, oh, he does run through, though. He does get through. I think the game must have opened up. And now blue needs the most clutch quick walls ever. He needs the gates. Huh. No! It's still open as well. That's so good for Ozone. I thought he was letting it slip. He's through now. He's through. That'll mean tons of villager losses on the front. He still has some towers. The knights get into the back. Oh, that's such a good find. I think a villager or a CA opened the gate, and blue was just not expecting the army to be there. Beautiful job from Ozone. Finally, some military control, right? It feels like he was really struggling here. You do need to eventually kill these CA, but those Vil kills feel worth it. Nice job. Is able to use this time to move over to the other wood lines. Get some more knights over here to snipe the crossbows. 59 population versus 54. There's 17 cav archers for blue. Blue does have a massive group of CA here. So I think Ozone still needs some patience with the Scorpions. Yes, Knight and Scorpion in theory should work against the CA. But we also have seen players with good micro take down the Scorpions pretty easily. The fishing ship's still working for Ozone around the map. There's still maybe, I'd guess, 1,000 food to work with there before he needs to transition into farms. I just think he needs to escape to the outside or something. To get away from this area. I'd love to see him, since he has the water control, build a TC back here. Just get that area secured. But obviously you can't do it if the cav archers are going to be there. And honestly, if you're blue, why not even try and use the cav archers against the fishing ships? Send a couple cav archers this way. He doesn't see any of that, of course. But I think that's eventually an option. Tame says, is this live? They played this series earlier this morning. I don't know exactly what time. So this is unspoiled directs. But blue may or may not be asleep. I don't know. Blue's been living on Titans League time zone, so if he were to win this, I'm hoping we get an interview. If Ozone wins, it should be pretty realistic. We get an interview just based on time zones and whatnot. The tower goes up for Ozone. I'm seeing a lot of eco just circling around, running around, lots of idle time. Just needs another wood line. Building a tower there is like just brutal. But Jean Swordsman over there won't do too much. Still fishing. Still looking on the outside with some knights. And he is escaping to that area for the town center. Like, is cav archers enough to break Ozone right now? I don't think it is. If Ozone ever moves out, it's a problem. But Ozone sneaking up here and not getting caught is amazing. Is it awkward for Ozone? Yes. But is his eco going to be broken anytime soon? Doesn't really feel like it. Scorpions are definitely too much for the CA. And so blue will add some mangonels at home. But these towers look so bad now. Like, these towers are going to be some type of museum tour in 100 years, right? Like, this used to protect a village, but there's no longer a village here because the people have moved on. Like, It's the downside with cramming so many towers into the same area. At the time, it feels good, but you do need to think ahead. And Ozone finds the villagers in the corner. Yeah, so that's how he's winning the game, right? He's winning the game on avoiding the CA and expanding his economy. I still don't know if Blue understands why that villager even died. But Ozone leaves one knight there, one knight there. Other knights will come through the back. The CA are over here for Blue, so he's a little bit undecided on where to go. And the knights are going to be through, and yikes. So yeah, I said Ozone needed to respond. Ozone has responded perfectly. Winning the water, defending on land, and now the counterattacks. And I don't know where exactly Blue was looking there, but he cannot keep up with it, man. All of his CA are over here. The knight actually makes it through. Oh my god. Knight actually makes it through and kills the mangonel. And now if he were to ever move this direction as well, he has no clue, but Ozone's camping it with more knights and more siege. Just waiting. Blue is... I mean, he's got a big army. He hasn't experienced a loss yet in the series. He's going to keep fighting. But it's 25 economy against 73, so it's not looking good. And it really hurts that he doesn't know about this and could run directly into the Scorpions, too. That's such a nice position for Ozone to lock down. Makes it so difficult for Blue ever to move that direction. Blue will probably have to move this direction now. Mangonel's a good addition against the Scorps. But Ozone can just dive with the Knights. He dives with the Knights. He takes down the Mangonel. He backs away. And his Scorpions are still there, getting some really nice hits. Oh, God. I think it's GG. If these Scorpions get killed off, it's most definitely GG. The micro from Blue's solid. He'll lose his Mangonel, though. There's still Scorpions out. He loses the Monk. The Knights are here, and Ozone responds. Yeah, guys, I think for Blue, he tried the second game, and maybe even the first game, an example of how you can do a lot, and you can be creative, but maybe he tried to be a little too creative here. The scout fight, he wanted that kill early. I think it influenced so much of the game. He was so paranoid about the man-at-arms. And so he full walls against a player who doesn't go man-at-arms, and Ozone just dominated the water. It did get scrappy. It did get really messy and scrappy, I think, for Ozone. It's by far... It's not his best game, but he finally gets the win. And you could see the quality there. The key for me was sneaking to the outside and just being patient. So... wins with the Celts as well, which can't be a high priority pick on the draft. 2-1 KD, or even beyond that. And more of every resource except for golds. Well played from Ozone. Scores 2-1 here. Let's see if Ozone can turn this one around. So, Game 3 was an excellent response. We have a very different map now, even though it incorporates water. We've got the Malay for Ozone. We've got the Koreans for Blue. Now, we've seen Koreans on this map quite a few times this week, and I think Koreans are undefeated. I think we had Koreans beat Vikings twice, and then I think Koreans beat Armenians as well. Like, Koreans have a really nice win rate, and it's just because they're so good on water, but then they're also very viable on lands with minimal investment. So, other civs have better land options overall than Koreans, like better knights or, you know, better cav archers or something, but... just getting the free tower upgrades is so nice. And being able to just sneak up a couple towers on the side of the map while also competing on water is really what makes them strong. So, I'm not sure what's going on here with the transports. The captains are just like, I know we're enemies, but how you doing over there, you know? Just double checking to see, like, are your maps updated? What years your maps say? I couldn't really find my way to the Golden Stone Island in the middle last time I looked for it. They're really bonding right now. Like, I heard there's bears on that island. Yeah, I heard that too. I think it's fake news. 5 on wood there for Blue. It'll be the same here for Ozone. But yeah, I think Ozone has to dominate the land here a little bit. At the very least, you can't be surprised. I think outposts are your friends. If Blue sneaks up some towers, whether you're ahead or behind, it is still very dangerous. Especially here. Because here you've got wood, stone, and gold. All could be ranged by one tower. This area is not quite as valuable, not as easy for blue to locate. T90, would you ever add neutral docks to some maps so players could use trade cogs? I never would, but apparently I'm not a dev for Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition because they actually added that onto islands recently. And that's actually something I'm going to make a video on because there are players who have used that to trade. They have new trade functionality so you can get wood and gold from trade instead of just one resource. So, and I think there's also a couple other maps to sneak the docks up. So, I don't think it would really make a big effect. Like, if anything, it just makes it so the person who wins water already, like, has an even bigger advantage with the water, which is probably good. It doesn't make games go on longer. It makes games end a little bit faster, so. There are a couple community game maps that would have it, but I don't see a value of adding it here. I guess we could, though. If it doesn't really add much, we could still add it. That way we have something cool to look at. I can think about it. It's another thing for me to explain and say like, it is there. I doubt we'll see it, but maybe we'll have the rare trade game. I don't know. Maybe I'm convinced. You made me think about it. Big walls from Ozone. Back dock from Ozone. He's looking with his transport ship to confirm the dock location, and we'll know the dock is on the back for blue already. Blue's fishing or transport ship is checking, and actually brings the scout over. But there's been a clear direction from players that they do not want the forward docks. Ever since the new water changes, we've been seeing a lot more defensive play. I think it could even be 2 docks on the back and fast castle. And yeah, there's the dock there from Ozone. The T90, I really like the trade micro from the free junk one of the tourneys had on Stranded. Yeah, I didn't like that because the additional gold boost you were getting was so significant that it eliminated build orders, in my opinion, and made it more likely that we would see one thing versus another. So I was very anti-junk there. It was like kind of funny, right? You could be like, oh, look, T90 zoomed in on that guy's junk. You know, you could make that joke, but it was so much golds that I felt like we saw less variety in strats because you didn't need to mine golds at all, which led to, yeah, just some slightly different builds. So Ozone will click up to few lates. 2 docks. Docks are pretty far apart. Blue has a goat inside of the transport ship. We talked about this yesterday. I think this is meta, but I think he actually just stole a goat somewhere. Found the goat in the shoreline, popped it in his transport ship. So he didn't have it a second ago. But he doesn't actually know it's 2 docks yet. It is 2 docks for both players, though. But again, they practiced against each other. And so I think there's got to be some elements where they guess they know what the opponent is going to do, or they're convincing themselves they do. Ozone's going for the barracks. Ozone's actually going for militia. It'll arrive a little late, but it's more so just because he's late to feudal age. But look at the scouting from Blue. Blue sees the barracks. So it's what you're looking for. This is why losing the scout in the previous game was a problem. You need to know the potential openings for the opponent, where they've docked, how many docks they have. This all gives you an idea of what their strategy and build-up is going to be. And Ozone will just sneakily sneak into the transport ship there. And back at home, Blue is going to immediately change his game plan. Drop some walls. Honestly, though, I think Ozone doesn't need to even kill villagers to be happy with the Man-at-Arms. I think Man-at-Arms with Arson, with a solid fishing and navy eco behind, I think you could still force a lot of reactions. Maybe break through a house. Basically, Ozone has forced his opponent to deviate his strategy a little bit. Like in theory, the barracks and the archer range would have never come up if not for this opening, so I don't mind it. I think the idea of attacking the house instead of the palisade is that they invest more wood into repairs. But that's pretty risky, and there's no villagers underneath the TC too, so Ozone could maybe get through. This is what Ozone likes. He likes a little bit of initiative into smooth eco behind. I feel like he really lacked that in the first game. In the first game, he went unique unit, which is just hard on your economy. Game 2, he tried to get initiative, but he got championed. And now this game, much like the previous game, able to take some early initiative. And so yeah, no real follow-up with archers. Blue is on the way to Castle Age, and Blue has 3 docks. 9 fishing ships behind. Ozone is building the blacksmith out here, which feels kind of random. He doesn't even have loom right now. Is important to keep your scout alive, and it's super easy to forget about that now. Oof. Blue adds the spearman. Then the scout goes down. That's so worth it. You will take that trait every single day. Because now Ozone can't easily track where the army, what the army movement's going to be like. Blue gets attacked on the back by a Hawk. Garrisons it in the dock, excuse me. This Hawk did find a fishing ship kill before, though. So it's 1-0 on the Eco KD. And more Hawks are coming in. So you're still rather torn right now if you're Blue. You want to make archers, but your opponent knows you're making archers, so you don't want to make too many of them. And then you need to make Navy. But you have decisions to make on, do you make turtle ships or do you make the Hawks? I'm kind of hoping we see the turtles because they look cool now. And yes, I will absolutely be critical of the direction their oars are moving, but we'll do a poll. We'll do a poll because there's some viewers here today that weren't here yesterday. First, we have to see if turtles will actually be made. Transport's still a factor as well. You could use the transport ship for the archers, but I think Blue has done a great job not to overreact to this. Just a couple archers, no real upgrades needed. Pulled from the man-at-arms, good micro. And there's the turtles, baby. There's the turtles. Yeah, Stone Please made a lot of turtles. That's pretty much all he made on this map. He got up to 8 or 9 turtles. But okay. Here's my turtle theory, okay? The oars now move. So first we should appreciate it. I don't want to come off as negative or act like I do not appreciate it. Here it is. For 20 plus years, the oars did not move in the water. However, I think the oars are moving the wrong direction. Now you can say agree or disagree, but I'm telling you, when this ship is moving, it should be moving the opposite direction. Something's going on in there. I don't know. The ship's not moving right now. It's just full economy from Blue. He's going to protect the sides. So a turtle for each side, fishing eco, and now town centers. So no movement. And Ozone is going for medium warships, and Ozone is going to continue to make some Hawks. And Ozone, oh man, Ozone just sniped the transport ship, but the crossbows actually made it over. That was a really close call for Blue. Now, Ozone will drop a siege workshop here. Yeah, just very calculated from Blue, though. He's not really moving. Like, what is that, dude? I'm telling you, something's wrong. Something is not quite right with the way they are moving. Some people say it's backwards. Some people say it's forwards. Yeah, it's a centipede. It's a centipede ship. Like when you really look at it, it messes with you, man. It messes with you. Okay, here come the Hawks. These Hawks have hooks, which I don't know, may or may not be good against the turtles. I think the turtles just completely dominate the Hawks. I think the ship of choice that you would need against this would probably be fires. But I'm not exactly sure. We have demolition ship being researched. Remember, in the past, you didn't need to research demolition ship. They made it so now you have to research a separate upgrade to upgrade your demos. Which makes me quite sad, to be honest. Before you could go for War Galley and it'd upgrade your fires. It'd upgrade your galleys. Now there's a medium warships upgrade, but that doesn't upgrade the demos. So the demos are kind of left out. And Blue just dropping the 3rd town center and just poking with the crossbows. So, Ozone, no initiative right now. And the turtle number is growing as well. I'm guessing he's making the demos. Maybe he knows something I don't know about the demos against the turtles. But Blue's in full control right now. The crossbow aggression is keeping Ozone on the move. Delayed the town centers a little bit. And these turtles are a-coming. It's an angles thing, though, because when I see it from this angle, see, like, that angle, it looks like they're going the wrong way. But then when they're going the other direction, I feel like maybe they're going the right way for half a second. We're going to have to get over this at some point, but now is not the time. And oh god, those demos do nothing. How do you even kill these things? Turtles are so broken. The Hawks don't work. The demos don't work. It looks like you'd need 3 or 4 demos to even kill a single ship. And I guess fire ships as well could be an option, but even that looks like it's not going to work. And the crossbows from Blue are still hovering around him, and Blue is just dominated. I saw fire ships the other day from Margugu against this, and it didn't really look like the fire ships could do it. Remember, there was also a point where they nerfed the cost of turtle ships. They used to be much more expensive. There's been so many changes with turtles to get them into the meta to be somewhat viable, but my god. Blue has had a perfect game plan. Defended from the man-at-arms. Town centers are up. Eco is flowing. Ahead in Vils. Or sorry, not in Vils, but just in economy because there's no fishing ships for Ozone now. This is what Ozone sees. That is the face of death right there. That is that's bad. And what you do now to win this game is you use this position and you drop a couple towers. I guess Ozone's got some siege in his base, but, you know, come over here, start a little tower siege push, come over this direction, do the same, and it becomes really awkward. But honestly, the lead is significant enough. Maybe you can just add economy. T90, it's moving in the right direction, but the pull stroke is moving in midair. The animation needs to place the ores in the water instead. Well, I'm still not convinced it's always moving in the right direction, but I agree that clearly they're not dipping the ores in the water in the right way. Like, you can't have the ores facing that direction. You want the ores turned a little bit more forward, but literally broken. You know? Come on, devs. What are we doing? But also, how ungrateful do I sound right now? I am joking, guys. I am joking. I am trying to find something to talk about while Ozone is getting massacred here. It is a joke. I am not trying to come off as ungrateful for that change because that is really cool. So thank you, devs. Blue does need to work on the macro a little bit. I was expecting the farm count to be higher than this. There's 33 on wood at the moment. Also, hold up. Ozone sniped some fish back here. Ozone sniped some fish. There used to be 14 fishing ships. These fires sniped 9 fishing ships. That's actually a nice find. Could maybe drop a castle. I would be careful dropping it near the turtles. But you drop a castle close enough to the shoreline, you can maybe redock for later. Blue is not gone for the approach with the towers. Instead is going to go for the castle. And still patrolling around with these crossbows. Ozone's done a nice job. He hasn't lost too many vills against the crossbows, and they have been everywhere. But it still must be so frustrating to basically apply no counter damage. Continues to think about it with the fire ships. I think he just came in again here as Blue added more, and the turtles they're protecting. But crossbows around this side. Ozone needs a reaction. No reaction yet. Scorpion and Mangonel here is just honestly patrolling into the scout movement. So the crossbows here are even moving around as well. Like when Blue gets the lead, honestly, I just feel like there's no way Blue is going to lose. It just... Player feels inevitable right now. But it's also the freaking turtles. Turtles are so strong. They just completely dominate the water. I don't know what you would do. You'd have to castle the shoreline where the turtles aren't. So castle it here, right on the shoreline, then add more docks, and then find a ship that beats that. Remember, they used to be weak against... They made them better against galleys. So they used to be weaker against galleys. I think the ship of choice would really be fires with maybe a combination of demos. Man, nice job there from Ozone to finally clear it up. But Blue still got a lot of value, and Blue's on the way to Imp. Oh, God. Ozone, be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful. Okay, Mangonel's clutch. Be careful. Don't try it. I don't even trust that. I don't trust it at all. Oh my god. Blue Scout is... No! Wait, what happened? Did he lose it? He lost it. Oh my... Oh my... Oh my god, guys. That's so painful. Again, do explain, because it looks really bad for Ozone, right? You need a castle near the shoreline to give you a position to dock. And so the logic is there to place a castle on the shoreline, but not there, man. Place, like, the turtles are there. Go over here and drop it while they're out of position or something. And the scout as well, kind of blocking it for half a second, played its role, but damn. Turtle ships, they looked good. Blue looked good, sorry. He defended from the man-at-arms, and really, just the turtles dominating the water was the storyline. Look at the amount of ships that you had to make. We had 11 Warhawks, 5 fire ships, 4 demos, against 10 turtles and 2 hulks. And remember, in order to get the turtle ships, like, you don't actually need to get an upgrade to unlock the turtle ship. You just get to Castle Age and you get access to the turtle ship. So someone else can do the math here, because I'm too lazy. But even though turtles are pricey, it's not really that bad for the value and how quickly you can get them there. So, yeah, I'll replay it. But I think Ozone was already so far behind. I think he assumed that the turtle wouldn't be able to range it, but I think multiple turtles could still range this castle foundation. And here it was. He definitely lost it because he has 876 stone after placing the castle foundation. So he basically had enough stone for 2 castles. And yeah, he places the foundation, but then what also hurts is he uses some of the villas to go after the scout. And yeah, loses the castle. So, rip for my boy Ozone. There we go. All right. So, see if Blue can do it. Guys, Blue's just played so well today. It's just played so well. Ozone had that recovery in the African River game, but he just needs initiative, man. He needs initiative from the get-go. Initiative and follow-up is what he wants. When I think about these games, there hasn't been many games where he's been able to gain immediate initiative and have the follow-up. But half the battle is finding that, right? It's not like necessarily a given that you're going to be able to take the initiative. You have to find it. And Ozone has gone for the Portuguese here. A map with a lot of water. Portuguese can be great here with all their discounts on gold units and their HP bonus on ships. I do think that Portuguese do struggle a little bit with initiative against Blue's strategy, assuming I know what Blue is going to do. So my guess is that Blue wants to play Flemish Militia and water. And basically the Flemish Militia will create chaos around the base and maybe force Ozone into some archers or something. And then from there, of course, it's like Ozone reacts with archers. Then Blue maybe can focus a little bit on water or play in towards skirms. Again, we just talked about typically the weakness of infantry. But again, it's a unit that you don't need to research and upgrade to get. You just need to get to Feudal Age and build a barracks, and you can make the Flemish Militia. And it's a very open map, so it is immediately make the Burgundians very strong on hybrid maps. The speedy early infantry that will force reactions and quick walls allow you to then sneak some docks and whatever else here. So, but Ozone needs something, so the scout comes forward. And the scout sees the rhinos being brought in. So, okay, nerding out a little bit. But you can never lose scout HP here and be okay with it. Nice job. That's especially satisfying. If you bait your opponent into garrisoning there, you're pretty happy with the idle time. And Ozone, with a couple villagers on wood, is going to go for the dock in the middle here. So, if I'm correct on this, and I might not be, because I haven't seen Burgundians played here yet, and don't know everything, of course, and obviously everything depends. But I think what you probably want, if you're the Burgundian player, is you want the opponent to have docked the middle. So you can use the Flemish Militia to, again, create the chaos, and then go bam and hit them in the middle, right? What you wouldn't want is you wouldn't want the player you're about to rush to have fish on the outside, because it's really hard for you to immediately pressure their fish. But the thing about the middle is the fish is so much better. Like, look how close you have the fish here. So you've got 2 fish right next to that dock. On the outside, even though there are some fish around, it's not nearly as plentiful, so... And on the flip side of that, Portuguese also might want the fight in the middle. Scouts are still very weak here again, but yeah, you might want the fight in the middle because you have the civilization with the extra HP on your ships. Oh man, Ozone loses his scout. Oof. So many scout fights in Dark Age between these two. It's crazy. It's just like the African River game. And it's down to 1 HP for blue, but still, you feel like you're going to want to know what's coming here. Because it's one of Ozone's practice partners, I assume he knows what could come from Burgundians. I think he's an intelligent player, so he should expect the barracks. I don't know. I could still be really wrong on all of this. Ozone snagging Loom. It's tough to get the Feudal Age to click up here because there's no deer to push in, and players are resistant to add the early mill. And oh my god, Blue's doing it. It's meta now, guys. Pig inside of the transport. This is meta. And I know Blue trained with Stone Please, and Stone Please is the other player that was doing it. I love this crap. Because your opponent always has to respect it could be a unit. It's the same flag, whether it's 10 man-at-arms or 1 pig. Trust me, it looks foolish right now, but there will be a moment at some point, if people continue to do this, where someone will get mind-gamed with that. Unfortunately, he needs a pig underneath the TC, though. That's the funny thing, is he actually needs the food. On the previous map, you don't need the food. What is Blue doing right now? Hold up. Blue is still not on the way to Feudal Age. Blue is adding more fishing ships. I expected Blue to be up. Blue is not. And Blue is adding fishing ships into the middle where Ozone can just kill them? I don't like that. I think maybe something went wrong with the build order. Maybe researching double bid axe early, while that is a bonus, and even getting fishing lines in the early games a bonus is... Like, maybe something went wrong, or maybe this is calculated. It feels so late that it feels calculated, like this is some type of greedy fish boom. This would be absolute suicide, game over before the water changes. But just the fact that you can garrison your fishing ships now means you can maybe get away with a little bit of greed. And also, Ozone won't be able to scout any of this because he lost his scout. And Jibark says, T90, remember fishing ships can now garrison. Yeah. You're ahead of me. I'm aware. I'm well aware. But, like, is that good, though? To still be adding them into Navy. See, he scouted double dock, so it feels like the fact he's still queuing them tells me it is somewhat calculated here, but they're still just going to be idle. So Ozone can now just fall back, and he could sit underneath here, and yeah, I mean, these fishing ships are not exactly working right now. But he did get good value from it. I mean, so far, resources collected, he's ahead, and Ozone's a bit wasteful there. You should never lose a Hulk there. You should always just sit underneath the dock, and then the arrows can't hit you. You also can only fit 5 fishing ships in each dock, I think, so you can't even fully garrison both docks if you're blue. Yeah, Ozone's got the right idea. Behind this, Ozone has placed the mill on the berries and on the box turtles, which is good for the food eco. We've got double bid axe, and we've got some house walls. But I guess blue is going to hard recover on water here, because blue is going for a 3rd dock. I'm inclined to think that this was not necessarily the plan for blue, but something went wrong with the Dark Age build, and when there was no food income because the pig was in the transport and all that, maybe this just ends up being the most natural play. I don't know. But that's a lot of eco idle time. There's no food eco from there anymore, but blue is up, and blue is 1, 2, 3 docks, even adding a 4th dock, even has a 5th dock out here. And there's another dock from Ozone on the outside. You have to get the ratios right if you're Ozone. Because if you were to just produce the first 2 Hawks, Blue just comes back on water and kills all your fish. If you go full Hawks and don't add any fish, you're probably not doing the best thing for your eco. So he's kind of gone for the middle road. But the fact that his Hawks are weak and the arrow fire will still be there means this could get out of hand very quickly. I think if Ozone just had scouting on these additional docks, he would know he needs to go full numbers. Not having that information could be a problem. I think he needs to back off now. There's been some complaints. Like, some people seem to think while the garrison of the dock is a cool idea, that the arrow fire is way too strong for the defender. I mean, I'm inclined to agree. It is insanely strong for the defender. And with that, Ozone's got to fall back and repair all these weak ships. And now Blue's out of nowhere. 1, 2, 3, 4 docks. Also has the 5th dock on the outside, which has a couple fishing ships. And, yeah, now all of a sudden, Ozone needs to do the same thing. But yeah, Hawks counter fires. Fires counter galleys. Galleys counter Hawks. That is the water triangle now. And so Blue will mix in a couple galleys into the middle here. And Ozone saves most of the fish. Still has the additional HP on the Hawks. Nice repairs. And Ozone should garrison the docks. And Ozone should be able to click up here. Yeah, that's nice. If you can hit Castle Age faster, then you can just recover the water. In theory, anyways. Market will be up, and Ozone will be up. Nice game. But at the same time, it's like, Blue's not that far behind to the next stage either. And Blue is a pretty smooth eco. And Blue's also mixing in galleys, which should give him an advantage on water over the next 2 minutes. Yeah, now Ozone will mix in some fires because he sees the galleys. Huh. Very close game. This is very high-level stuff here. All these tiny little intricate details, I don't think you can manage if you haven't practiced this a lot and really been up to date in the new water balance. Sick micro. Also, Blue doesn't have bow saw yet, right? That's an upgrade that you could get. Maybe getting it on the way to Castle Age makes sense. Neither player has spotted the other on the outside yet, but with so much fishing eco in the middle, it really feels like whoever wins water in Castle Age will have the advantage. Ozone's resources are sick. Look at the food. How does he have that much food right now? Yeah, the 2 different mill areas are really valuable. And then you run out, and then you're going to need farms or your fish to actually be working. Ozone sneaks in. There's some weak fish. And he misses it. Whoops. But I like it. I also like the Portuguese long-term. I was expecting some Flemish militia here from Burgundians. Still could have been possible. Just a couple Flemish militia into the eco. Ozone's got nothing there. But so much focus on the water. Blue still microing these galleys. Just now getting fletching. Ozone is up now. Yeah, the next 90 seconds are super critical to how the rest of this game goes. Ozone needs to win 3 straight. If he does, he's gold. Blue just needs 1 win. But the confidence for Ozone could really grow here if he can turn it around. And he will completely surprise his opponent with the galleys, the fires as well. Yeah, here he goes. So what I'm not too familiar with is how the Hawks would end up doing against the Castle Age fire ships. I've seen the Castle Age versions against each other. The fires are great against... the Hawks are great there, but... Yeah, there's a lot of boating here. Still the slight damage from the dock. Upgrades are coming in for Ozone from the university. He's getting careening. That extra Pierce armor should be huge here against galleys. And Ozone's going to clear this. He's also getting clinker construction, so he knows his techs. And yeah, Ozone clears it up on water. Beautiful response. The faster Castle Age was amazing here. And it was just so well played in the mid game to add enough fires, Hawks, but not too many. And still have the good economy behind. He had to show a lot of patience there. 19 fishing ships for Blue? I'm sorry? Well, he's got 5 that just popped out of this dock. He's got 4 in this dock. He's got 4 in this dock. My God, he's got a lot of fish in here. So yeah, the eco count is very deceiving. But he does have War Hulks now, so his Hulks are upgraded. And Ozone still doesn't have a second TC, and Ozone's still running into docks. The docks have done 600 damage this game, and that's not counting the other dock. I think the docks are OP, man. I'm telling you. I think the docks are super OP. Now it's 700 damage output just from the garrison docks. I think that's why Blue is adding so many fishing ships. Blue did get spotted on the outside, though. Monastery for Ozone. Still would love to see a second town center from both, but they are spending a lot of wood on the boats. Yeah, so since you get additional arrows from each fishing ship, it's an additional incentive to add more fishing ships, right? And there's the siphons upgrade for Ozone. Wow, we're seeing so much. So fire ships will gain an explosive charge attack after siphons. I've actually never covered a game with siphons yet. I don't think Ozone's planning on imp. I just think he's struggling to spend his food because he can't go for a second TC because he needs to spend his wood on boats. There's just lots of boating there. And I think we just saw a little bit of whatever that charge attack was. I'm not sure really how good it is. And, oof, God, crossbows are here for Ozone. He wasn't expecting that. And the Hulks are hulking. Blue is winning the Hulks because Ozone isn't near the docks. And Ozone doesn't have fletching or bodkin. And the crossbows are moving around. And Blue is finally starting to attack on land. And Blue has 2 town centers. And Ozone has not won water yet. Ozone is not killing any of these fishing ships. They're still actively working. And Ozone was never expecting the land attack. It has just been full water focus, which makes sense. But he has not been able to break Blue. Yeah, again, like the docks, you just fall back. And you now fall inside the docks. And as you're losing the water, then you've got all the docks garrisoned. He didn't even do it correctly because this dock isn't garrisoned. But then it helps you recover. And meanwhile, oh no, Ozone, no. Like, Ozone never expected this. He added a monastery probably to get relics and maybe convert a knight or something. But he never expected it. He lost his scout in Dark Age. And the Mangonel actually misses the shot there. Blue's able to get away with it. Second town center from Ozone. But I think he's letting this one slip, guys. Blue is super far ahead. Blue has been so structured with his game plans. I still have to ask him, was it intentional to make that many fishing ships in Dark Age and be that late to water? I feel like a mix of it was maybe the build going off like the plan a little bit, but also just excellent adaptation. And it's 76 eco for Blue. The third town center's coming up. He's starting to get farm upgrades and mixing some farms now too. And just everywhere you look, wherever he was losing water, he's actually recovered. And he's on land as well. This player is so good, has so much potential. Ozone does as well. But somebody's got to lose. And Ozone told me... He told me that even during the cast when we covered games together that if he were to lose in the playoff, he wouldn't actually be that upset because he loves Blue so much. Because they're bros. Because they practice together. Because he knows how much Blue deserves it. Because he'd be happy for the guy. But man... Like, Blue is just everywhere. We've got... I mean, yeah, Blue dots everywhere. Micro with the crossbows. This is 7 crossbows. And now it goes for the Repairville. Split micro. We'll back away, maybe. Yeah, Blue feels like he's dancing his way in towards Gold League right now. Where, honestly, with his prep, I could see him doing very well. Honestly, all the players who've ended up getting promoted from silver to gold so far, I look at and I think they can compete in golds and potentially move into platinum one day. All right, I jinxed him. But that's not what we're impressed with anymore. We're impressed with the water dominance still in the middle. We're impressed with the fact he's taking the oysters. We're impressed with the fact he's won the water on the outside. And we're impressed with the farms as well. 26 farms. A moment ago, he had 1. And now it's 26 farms, 3 town centers. This is absolute eco explosion right now. Yes. Get this man a Liquipedia profile, please. I think that says how little is known about Blue, that there's no Liquipedia profile yet. I can talk to Blue and get some details and talk to the Liquipedia editors about getting some information up there. But, again, the storyline is young, motivated, very quick, and trains like crazy. Some of these silver and gold players have trained way more than some of the big names, than all the players in Platinum may have, you know. And it's because it just means so much to them, because it's such a big opportunity, because it's such a motivating format for them, which I take big pride in, right? That is also why it should still be disappointing for Ozone, because he wants so badly to be gold. But, yeah, this is not enough, guys. Like, there's still other things to worry about on this map. He's recovering on water. But I don't think Blue even needs the water anymore. Blue's got 3 town centers here. And I think it just becomes a land game from here. Blue can go imp. If Blue goes for stables and starts to spam Lycav around the map, I mean, siege defense is no longer going to work all that well. And once Blue builds the 2 buildings here, Blue will be on the way up with crazy resources. Ratarats is pretty sure he is called Blve and not Blue. No, it's Blue. I know the players. I'm friends with him. He never clarified that, and all the like training group that I've hopped into with Blue has been calling him Blue. So. But I could always change that. It's a little confusing, but what's this called when people put different characters into their name, like semi-intentionally? So semi-intentionally misspelling it, like Fire, for example, with the numbers, and Stark with the numbers. Nah, it's not called gibberish. Is that leet? I don't know if Blue would be considered leet. I don't know where the lines are drawn on that, but Leet is just numbers. Well, it's a classic username thing, right? So like Fire has the 1 for the I, and then Stark is like the 4 for the A. Here, I'm not really sure about the Blue, to be honest. It's like, I guess maybe you'd have to put some type of number there for that to be the same thing, but. Yeah, like Lightsaber in chat. Lightsaber's got a 1 for the I and a 5 for the S, and it's kind of it's a classic thing. You don't see it too much these days. I think Ozone's going to end up tapping out here, guys. It would be his last game. Lots of reasons to fight, but like, this isn't just going to be 1 or 2 units and imp. This is going to be a ridiculous army. Like, this outpost as well. He'll build it. How many stables does he see? Okay, he sees 3 stables, and then he'll see Imperial Age. Obviously worked hard to recover the water. And now suddenly your opponent's an imp and you still haven't clicked up, and here come the knights, and Ozone's like, oh crap. Oh no, dude. Oh no, we can't have it. He sees the army, and he'll drop a castle and hold. Barracks are coming up. He'll aim for pikemen, I guess, to defend from the cav, which feels like the perfect play. We have the heavy warships upgrade for Blue, so Blue will come back on water, which makes me wonder how good the Burgundian Navy is. Seems like the Burgundians are really good on Navy. They get the fully upgraded galleons, hulks, and fires. And Blue will be fighting for the water on the outside. Transport that has the sheep in it. The pig. How disrespectful. That has the pig in it. Now has 10 Cavalier. Soon to be Paladin. And there he goes. Where are they off to? The Cavalier, you ask? The pig? They're off to Gold League. Off he goes into the distance, into the darkness that many would be scared of. But Blue prepares. God, please no fire ships, Ozone. You're ruining this. Blue prepares. Blue is ready. Blue is ready for a sneak attack. Not just on life, but on Gold League. I don't know what I'm doing. Here comes the transport ship. Transport goes all the way around. And, I mean, Ozone does have the barracks back here. Wait, he thinks it's a pig. He thinks it's a pig because the flag has been up forever, man. He's not even scared of it. I don't know. Maybe he's forgotten as well here, Blue. Blue, you're really ruining the suspense. We've got action on the outside on the water. And transport ship is still sitting there. He waits for Paladin. Paladin completes and then he hops out. There's no way. There's no way that's not intentional. Dude. I heard the little tick, the little Paladin tech click. And then the units hopped out. That was so funny. And then Paladins come through this way as well. The pig is still in there, by the way. The pig is still in the transport. And yeah, Ozone just completely gutted here. He's fighting exactly as you would want to fight if it's the last game. But he's just been outplayed today. He's been bested. Blue had some really unique approaches. The first game was a masterpiece. And, I mean, the second game was a bit of a masterpiece in its own right with the Dark Age shenanigans. And then, except for that third game, where Blue maybe lost the scout and struggled to adapt, Blue was an absolute beast. Ozone is buddies with him. They train together, of course, like I said. But there could be no dispute that Blue deserves this result. And Ozone says, GG, congrats. Good luck in gold, beast. Which is just a sign of respect for how good Blue is. And Blue is a beast. And this is what we want. We want players who we haven't heard a lot about to take these opportunities and train. And so far, guys, in the playoffs, based on my understanding, the players who have put in the most work and the most time to get promoted up to the upper leagues have been getting rewards in silver and gold. So really happy for Blue. Excited to see what he does in the future. I still think, I think the lack of experience could show in gold. You know, like I think the nerves are going to be there. It's a big jump in skill level, and anyone who gets promoted up there will maybe not be favored. But I don't know. He looked pretty sharp to me. So good stuff.